All right, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into Pinduoduo, PDD stock. Our mission here is to figure out if this recent breakout from its 3-month range, well, if that's a real buying signal. And we're going to try and do that by tuning into the rhythm of the market waves, so to speak.
Yes, fascinating, actually. PDD is, slowing right now between about $118 and $134. You can
Yeah.
really see this compression and then release. It's like a wave gathering strength, before it breaks. PDD looks like it's anchoring into a pretty solid midterm base. It's almost tuning itself for an upward beat. It feels quite deliberate, not just random movement.
That idea of a wave gathering strength, I like that. So if we're talking about rhythm, what are the specific beats we should be listening for? What are the fundamentals, the financials, and maybe those chart patterns telling us about PDD's melody right now?
Well, fundamentally, PDD's financial flow is very strong.
Yeah.
Really strong. Think about it, 86% year-over-year revenue growth. That's huge. And it's mostly from their online marketing and service fees. But here's the interesting part, the kicker, really. Even with all the spending on Temu, pushing it globally, they're still holding around a 22% operating margin. So it's not just growth. It's, profitable growth. That's a solid foundation, like a strong bass line for the stock.
Right, profitability during heavy expansion like that.
Yeah.
That is a crucial point. So are these strong financials the main driver, the main melody pushing the stock, or are there other things happening on the chart sort of orchestrating this?
Oh, absolutely. The charts definitely echo that financial pulse. When we talk rhythm, we're listening on, say, 3 different time scales. The short-term rhythm, like the daily beat, that's clearly rising, upward trend. Then the swing rhythm that's looking over maybe a few weeks, it seems to be merging, building energy for potential expansion. We might see something there in maybe 2 to 4 weeks. And then the midterm rhythm, the longer view over months, that's really settling in now, feels quite rooted.
Okay.
And to track this, we look at what we call rhythm pivots. These are like key price levels where the trend might turn or, pick up speed. We also watch things like VPAR live indices. That's volume and price analysis. Helps us see where the trading activity is slowing, catch those subtle shifts.
Okay, that makes sense, like reading the market's sheet music. So this tuning up sounds promising, but every forecast has risks, right? What signals point most strongly to those targets you mentioned? And what are the potential risks, the discordant notes that could mess up PDD's rhythm?
Right. Well, the general investment view suggests a short-term target near that $134 resistance, and maybe a swing target looking a bit further out around $140. For traders looking at the swing, viable entry points might be down around $118 to $121. But a real confirmation signal would be breaking firmly above that 134 level. Now, risks, yeah, we definitely can't ignore those. U.S.-China trade tensions are always a factor. And, regulatory pressure on these big e-commerce platforms that could certainly inject some volatility.
Yeah, those are definitely critical things to keep in mind. But what about the wider market, the audience, so to speak? Are people picking up on this tune? Retail, institutions? Or is there still some hesitation out there?
Well, on the positive side, community sentiment. It seems to be shifting, becoming more constructive. You look at places like Reddit, mentions are up about 18%, and the keywords are things like Temu, discount, growth. Pretty positive stuff. Twitter sentiment's showing about 58% positive. StockTwits has around 69% bullish bets. And importantly, institutional flow. We're seeing net buying over the last couple of weeks. Even some AI-based signals are pointing towards a potential swing rebound setup. So the outlook, probably some more back and forth within that 118 to 134 range for maybe 3 months or so. But that potential to break out towards 140, it seems quite real. Okay, so a period of consolidation potentially, but with an upward bias. Exactly. And if we zoom out, look at the bigger picture. This whole analysis really underscores how important it is to recognize these market rhythms. And of course, for you, the listener, the investor, always make decisions based on your own research and responsibility.
Absolutely, a really good point. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. This deep dive into PDD's rhythm, it kind of invites us to think about how stocks, much like tides, are always in motion, always presenting these moments. Maybe it's about recognizing when the tide is gathering, preparing for that next swell, right?
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
The tide never stops. This is the moment to breathe with the rhythm and prepare for the next swell.